he's stable now. What about you?
Good evening, and can't even hear it at the moment. We'll just turn it down a bit. Thank you so much. Okay. Good evening. We supposed to have Brooklyn on tonight, and we are still waiting for her. So hopefully she'll be on soon. And don't forget, guys, if you've got any messages or anything, please put them into your right-hand column, which says messages and everything. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Brilliant. Brilliant. You know that you're a blogger because you're a blogger, aren't you?
Yeah, podcaster.
Yeah, you're a podcaster. And can I kind of like cover something with you tonight? I'm doing a bit of a I'm doing a campaign at the moment about Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Do you mind me talking about that, or
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, is that okay?
Hmm?
Um, what I'm getting at is like recently all this kind of like people are kind of like what they do is they kind of like put they separate white people and black people and everything, and the black people kind of like always gets like ill treated, even in this country. What do you think about that?
As far as it all, I'm just it's kind of a hard thing to necessarily talk about, but there is a lot of division with it all, and I just think it would be best if we were to come together rather than driving each other apart, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense, doesn't it? Because to me, to me, to you, you're just a person to me. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what creed, color, whatever you are. At the end of the day, you're just a person. And
Mhm.
because I'm a Christian, I believe in God. You know, you're God's child, and that's it. So to me, I don't look at you as something else. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But the trouble is, you see, there's people out there at the moment who kind of the stigma is really bad at the moment, where people are kind of like I know some people went for jobs the other day, and they got turned down because of their color
Yeah.
and their religion and everything. What do you think about that?
Obviously, it's completely, unfair, and I just feel like things like that shouldn't even factor into applications or opinions. I mean, like you said, we're just all people, so no matter your religion, your race, your sexual orientation, like it doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
Yeah. Because I like talking to you. When I first talked to you, you come across as a kind of like a person who straight talking, and I thought that was really good. That's why I wanted you back. And I should have kind of like told you what I wanted to talk about, but I didn't because I just wanted your response. Do you
Mhm.
understand? Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you covered this in your podcast?
Um, Briefly, not necessarily in regards to Black Lives Matter, but I have covered Black history and um just kind of some of the things that have gone on in America more specifically.
Yeah. I remember a while back. Oh, what am I now? 50. So, I remember when I was around about 19. I used to go out with a girl, who was black, and she was a lovely person, lovely. And the trouble is, every time I was walking along the road with her, I always people were being cruel and kind of like saying names and everything about her and everything. And she used to get upset. And I hate it when people, um, you know, stigmatize people about their color or disability. Why can't they just leave it alone and let people come together, as you said? You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
I just feel like, yeah, it's just a way of, it's another form of judgment and another way to judge people. And I don't even see why it's relevant because it's really not. I mean, I don't really know why we've kind of divided ourselves into all of these things when we could just come together and connect on the similarities that we do have.
Yeah, yeah. I think the trouble is, Lucy, I think, you know, does color really, it doesn't matter, does it really? I'm kind of like, I haven't got no problems. I've got a lot of friends who are, the same, and it doesn't matter to me. I just take it as, oh, well, you're my friend. You're nothing, you're my friend. I like you. So what?
Mhm.
And I get annoyed when people put my friends down because of their could be their disability, color, or their religion.
Yeah. I mean, I could see why that's upsetting because, like I said, none of that stuff is even relevant. It's just kind of spiteful in a way to judge someone based off of number one, things they can't control, and number two, things that have no substance. It doesn't matter. Like, why does your color of your skin necessarily matter? It doesn't. It's just people kind of nitpicking at differences.
Mm, yeah, correct. What um what have you been covering lately on your podcast?
So on my podcast recently, for all of March, I was telling stories within my own life. So I was covering stuff like that. And for April, it's back to my regular advice content.
Right. And right, okay, uh so people come up to you and ask you for advice.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. People come up to you and they ask you for advice, do they?
Mm-hmm.
So what could that be about? What could that actually be about? The advice. Could that be like relationships, or could
You
it be something else?
usually I give advice relating to self growth and bettering yourself and living a better life. So whether that's about confidence or just growing in general, that's usually the advice that I cover. But there is in the future going to be a kind of segment where I do give advice to my listeners and they ask me specific questions.
Okay. So if you were kind of like giving advice to somebody about, I don't know, about the coronavirus, what would you say?
It definitely would depend on the specific question, but um, I mean, I feel like that's very general. I could just, talk about staying safe and staying home and staying safe, keeping your mask on, things like that, and to kind of just work on yourself during this time where we're not necessarily around all of our friends and family and just create something that you're proud of. So when we can leave and everything is more open, um, we've kind of reinvented ourselves for the better.
Brilliant. How about relationships?
Once again, um, that can be
You
a
must.
variety of things.
Okay. So you must be like yesterday, no, 2 days ago, we were covering on my podcast sexual abuse. We talk about different matters in schools and things, because sexual abuse at the moment is happening in our schools and everything. And it's really terrible. And so that's what we're covering at the moment. So that topic there. So I'm trying to what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a younger person's point of view, or from you. Okay. So what do you think about sexual abuse?
I mean, obviously, I think it's horrible and disgusting and something that should not take place, something that, people should never have to go through. I think it's horrible, very traumatic, and it can leave you with so much trauma. And I really, like, my heart really goes out to victims of sexual assault, sexual abuse, whatever you would like to define it as, because obviously it's unfair. It was not consensual. And I just really hope they heal.
Okay. And as a woman yourself, what do you think about women's rights?
I
You think?
strongly, sorry,
Sorry.
you can keep going with your question.
We were talking about women's rights the other day, so I thought, oh, this would be best talking to you about it. So what do you think about women's rights? What do you think?
I strongly believe in women's rights. I believe, I mean, obviously it varies from where you are, but in America, the wage gap is very significant when it comes to women and men, which obviously pay should be equal. It shouldn't be higher because you're a male or lower because you're a female, because it doesn't
Well
matter.
done. Well done. Yeah, carry on. I love this. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, and just things like that. I think everyone should be equal. And a lot of the things when it comes to men and women, it's not equal. And it's actually very unequal. So working to get things on, a common ground would obviously be for the better. So I'm a strong advocate
How,
for that.
how about if I told you a long time ago, a woman's place was at home in the kitchen cooking and looking after the children? What would you say about that?
I mean, in today's age, that's very outdated and not realistic. But I mean, I can't really say much about that time because that was a whole different era.
Era.
So
Yeah, yeah,
they lived
yeah,
very differently.
yeah. Okay. How about this era, the era that we're in now?
I just think that's a stereotype and we shouldn't live, thinking that's how things should be. Obviously, if you're a woman and you want to do that, then more power to you. I mean, everyone has their free will and free choices, but
Mm,
that shouldn't be, pushed on to
mm.
people, that narrative.
Oh, you're very wise. You are. You're very wise. Um, I also want to kind of like ask you about what do you do when you're not doing podcasting? What else do you do?
Um, you mean work related or like hobby
Yeah,
wise?
work, well, work and hobby wise. I'll tell you
Well,
why in a minute.
so I'm a certified lifeguard, so I do that. I'm also a social media marketer and campaign manager for political campaigns. So I make the graphics and market for people who are running for mayor, school board, all of that type of stuff. And that's pretty much where it ends job wise, but hobby wise, just going outside, playing tennis, gymnastics, and all of that stuff.
Right, okay. So let's go to politics, right? Now,
Right.
I know you're strongly I know that you're strongly into politics, aren't you?
I wouldn't say strongly, but yeah.
You are. All right. So if I say to you, what do you think about um say Trump? What did you think about him being president?
So I just personally, I didn't agree with his, just morals in general. I mean, obviously, there's some policies, political figures have that you agree with and some that you don't agree with. But I just feel like him as a person, he kind of stood for negativity and hate in a way. And that's just something I don't stand for, and excluding people. So I was just not a fan.
Okay. So the trouble is, President Trump did lots of bad things. And do you think that they should have? And he got away with the breachment, didn't he? Apparently, he got breached, and apparently he got away with it, didn't
Yeah.
he? What do you think about that?
I mean, personally, I didn't really care about the entire impeachment trial because he was no longer president anymore. So I just feel like it didn't really matter to impeach him since he was going to be out of office anyway. So that's kind of my opinion on that.
Oh, I tell you, I think you're brilliant. And what do you think about this new president now we got? Well, you got now.
As far as President Biden, I mean, it's wishy-washy. I mean, there was a lot of promises that were made that have not been, you know, gone through with, and it doesn't seem like they're ever going to be gone through with. So that's pretty disappointing. On top of the recent airstrike in Syria, and I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of starting very, very rocky.
What do you think about the airstrike?
I mean, I don't really know the logistics and why that was done. I mean, I feel like I don't really need to know why. I don't agree with violence on pretty much any level. So I found it to be very disturbing, especially considering that Syria is, practically a third world country. So I don't think we had much business going over there bombing stuff.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. Brilliant. And so, if you this is a question I'm going to ask you now, and you'll probably laugh at this. If you were president of the United States of America, what would you do?
If I was
what would you change?
If I was the president, I would be 100% transparent. And personally, I feel like politics in America is messy. It's messy pretty much anywhere. And a lot of the politicians kind of put on this facade of what they think people want to hear and then get in office and do something completely different. So I would actually be a leader and do what I think is right for the path our country needs to go on, including just stuff with rights and the whole crisis of coronavirus. I just don't think it's being handled very well. The border crisis, there's a lot of messiness that's going on here right now. So
yeah, I know. So in your own life then, in your own life, as you're doing all this campaign work and everything, what do you expect you're going to get out of it?
Out of my life?
Yeah, well, you're doing all this campaign work. You're helping people out. So yeah, what do you want out of life as a person?
I just want happiness out of life. I feel like that's pretty much all you can ask for. I mean, you can ask for money, success, all of that type of stuff, but if you have all of those things and you're unhappy, was it worth it? I don't think so.
Does money matter to you?
I feel like money does matter in a way that, I mean, you can't really do much in the world without it. But it's not as important to me to the fact that I need to be a millionaire or I'm going to freak out. But being comfortable is all you can really ask for.
And what would you do if you were a millionaire?
I feel like most things about my lifestyle wouldn't change. I mean, I would probably buy a house, the first thing I would do, and kind of get all of that in order, but I wouldn't be, living high in luxury and spending money on all these expensive cars. I'd probably use most of it towards good and start a program for young people to get into science.
Unbelievable, you are unbelievable. Really good, really good. So if you kind of do you have a faith at all? Do you have a belief?
Do I have a faith?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So do you believe that there is God?
Personally, I would describe myself as agnostic, meaning that I don't, necessarily believe or not believe. I just I don't really look much into religion.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
just kind of living life.
Living life.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, what kind of music are you into?
I would say all of it. I mean, I don't prefer one over the other, but I do love 80s music.
Right. Okay. That surprises me because when I was thinking about it earlier, writing on my list about music about you, I thought, right, Brooklyn likes. What did I put down here? Anyway, I got rap. Right. I put down rap. Also, I put down what else is it? I got then it was like reggae and all that lot. Am I right?
I've never really listened to reggae. I mean, I do listen to rap, but it's definitely not my favorite.
So, what is your favorite?
Anything old school, so 80s music, 90s music, just 80s pop, 80s rock.
All right, okay. And if you were on a desert island, I ask everybody this: if you went to a desert island and name me one person that you would love to be with on that desert island.
Do they have to be famous or can it be someone that I know?
It could be anybody you know.
I would say my friend Joe.
Your friend Joe.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, right, okay. Now, if you name one thing that you would take to that desert island,
My phone.
your phone.
Yes.
Is that without? So you take your phone, but see the trouble is on a desert island, there's no going to be no way of charging it, isn't it?
Well, I'd bring my phone fully charged so I could call for help and leave the desert island.
Right. What happens? You're quite clever, you are. How about if there's no signal, say?
Okay, you got me with that one. Well, then I would just bring food and water.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a minute. You're thinking, why is he asking? Why is he asking me all these weird questions? Ain't you?
Yeah.
You're asking me. He's a weirdo. Why is he asking me all these questions? It's because I tell you why. It's because if I asked anybody else that, they'd come up with silly questions. But you come out with questions like what you do, you think about it, then you tell me. But there's some people out there that don't think about life. They just let life just kind of like just go ahead and go with life. But what you do, you're a campaigner. You do a lot of work for and to help others. This is what I like. What you do. This is why we like you on being on here.
Thank
And
you.
you're a kind and considerate person. You don't have to come on here and talk to me. But you do. And you're very kind of like your conversation. Your conversation is really good. And I think what you do in life at the end of the day is you're gonna do it well.
Well, thank you for all those kind words. That means a lot to
Well,
me.
you are, and I think you should never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your dreams because you never know, one day they might come true.
Exactly.
I remember a long time ago, well, a couple of years ago, I had a stroke and I was working. I was had my own business. I had a stroke in the car park. Couldn't talk and couldn't, do anything. I didn't like going on here. I didn't like going live, doing lives, or doing my own show. and now I love it. I do it every day. I do my
Oh,
show 7 days a week. I get 3 or 4 shows a day. People love it. Coming on here, I'm around about what's that? I can't remember. Number 8 in the chart for podcasts. Which we were around about like thousands, I think. So but what we do, we try to kind of like, it's all of our kind of podcast. It's all about kind of like helping people and also kind of like giving people hope. That's what we
mm-hmm.
do, and showing kindness. That's what we do. And I really have enjoyed talking to you. I think you have kind of like have inspired. Do you know what? I tell you what, I've got something to tell you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marie says here, Marie, sorry, sorry, Marquis from Africa. Here we go. Um, she goes, hi, Brooklyn. You are a very inspiring young person. I love it when you come on Steve's show. I know you only been on once before, a second time now. I think you're a very inspiring young person, and today I can go outside and hold my head up high because I am a black person too. And sometimes we do get stigma quite a lot. But because of you today, I can go out. Thank you so much. Love you lots. Marquis. There you go.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so glad that,
Yeah,
I could help and bring that, sense of proudness, and I can't even find another word to describe it, but that sense of proudness to go outside and be yourself and to kind of just showcase, your race. And I'm glad that that kind of just came out, and that makes me really happy.
yeah. I'm getting quite a few. Glenn, um, from from Cyprus. He says, "Hi, um, thank you very much for your podcast tonight. It's been really good. You asked us several questions and you came forward, very very polite and straightforward. Can I ask you a question? Would it be possible we can get her back again and talk about another subject?" We were asked, but she's probably bored with me by now.
I'm not. I would
Um,
love to.
um, um, but she was very delightful, and thank you very much for having her on. Please send my wishes to her. She's a very intelligent young lady. There you go. Um, Roger says, good luck to your campaign work. If you need anything, let me know because I'm a campaigner myself and I live in the USA. I live in, is it Milwaukee? Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Milwaukee? I can't remember. I can't say it. But I want to, if you need any help in the future, just let us know. All the best. And then it's got, oh, this is a good one. Glennis says, hi, Steve. Thank you very much for your program tonight. What a wonderful young lady you are on. Very inspiring too. If she ever comes to New York, look me up. I am a producer of a television show, and I would love her to come on when everything is sorted out to talk about her podcast and stuff. Please give her my details. If you pass me the details over, I will pass it on. I promise to you. Okay. Thank you very much. There you go.
Thank you. Those are all so sweet and so nice.
Well done. But never give up. Never give up on your dreams. Okay.
And thank you. And I'm glad that you did not give up on yours and you created this amazing platform. And I'm so happy for you, in all honesty.
Mm, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have helped a lot of people so far. We've put people into rehabs. We've put people into like rehabs, like drugs rehabs to get help with drugs, alcohol, mental health. We do a lot of with that. We do every we help people. If we've got somebody on now, who's got a mental health problem. We've got somebody on here who helps people. with cancer and stuff. So we're well
Mm.
equipped with people. And but thank you very much for coming back on.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll definitely get in contact with you, ask you to come back. Because that's only if you would like to come back.
Of course.
And yeah, brilliant. And you can be our kind of like you can be our correspondent for over where you live in the USA. You can let us know what's going on over there because we all want to know what's going on over there.
I will give you all the inside scoop.
Okay, thank you very much. You're so kind. Brooklyn, thank you very much as always. You take care of yourself.
You as
We'll
well.
get in contact with you later on. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sometimes in life, we just need that special word or words to let us go forward in life. Just one word can make us more special in life. Two words could kind of like see us kind of like have faith and believe in something. Thirdly, we believe in our dreams to make them come real. Good night. God bless. Take care. Bye for now.